Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we are going to make this slimline card. It's also Throwback Thursday, so I'm using First Frost with the Frosted Bouquet dies. I always really liked the flowers in this set. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this slimline card using the vine stamp, the two flowers, and the greeting that says wishing you all the best, as well as some of the dies to cut out some of the flowers. And I've used a Stitched So Sweetly die to cut out the greeting. And we've got some of the braided linen trim. It's a mossy meadow, but it actually goes quite well with the old olive and the rich razzleberry. So I'm just going to move some of these things out of the way because I'm going to need the full width of my mat here to work on the card. So the Slimline envelopes are new in the mini catalog. They are really, really nice. They are 8 7/8 by 3 7/8, and they open at the top, and they've got they're decorated on the inside like that. So we've got soft, succulent, smoky slate, and the white. So I just wanted to show these to you. I love the slimline cards. Years ago in England, I got a whole package of slimline cards before we even had slimline cards here in Canada. And I've always loved them. And I love looking at the cards that the European demonstrators make that are slimline. So to make the card base for a slimline card, you need a piece, in this case, of basic white. It needs to be 8 3/4 by 7 1/2, and you score it at 3 3/4. So I will just pop that down there. So that's your measurement for the card base. And then for the mat needs to be 8 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then the card front that we're going to do is 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. And all I've done is I've stamped the vines, I've stamped the flowers, I've used a dauber to go around the edge, and then I've built the card up. So let's go ahead and stamp the card. Again, I'll just put that dimension down there. Actually, maybe I'll put it across the top so it might be easier for you to see. So this is the card base itself, and then this is the card front that we're doing. So let's get our old olive going with the vine. And this one, I did the vine straight. I wanted it to kind of look like hollyhocks. Now, hollyhocks have bigger leaves on them, but that's kind of the look I was going for. And I did the vines straight, like the stems straight. So I'm going to try angling them a little bit on this one and see how that changes the look of the card. So I'm going to come up like that from the bottom of the card. And then maybe I'll do this one a little bit like this. And then I'll come in. I'm just fitting the bottom of the flower or the bottom of the leaves into the top of the next one, just so it looks like it's a continuous stem. I'm just stamping those down. It's ink up, and we'll sway it out again at the top here. So there's our vines done. Now, while I've got the old olive open, I am going to use a sponge dauber to just add some color around the edges. With the new foam pads, you don't want to drag your paper edge through the stamp pad. We used to, when they were like the linen stamp pads, we would simply take our edge and just scuff it through the ink pad. But with the foam pads, we do not want to do that because we will tear the stamp pad. So I am just going all the way around the outside, just scuffing some of the old olive onto the card front. Just cleans up, well, not cleans up, just kind of blunts up that edge a little bit, just so that it's not so stark. And I'll just keep coming around here and come up this side here. And if you've got some areas where you think it might be a little bit lean on that, then you just add some more. So let's close up the old olive, and we'll get going with the rich razzleberry. I used 2 different sizes of flowers, keeping in mind that at some point I'm going to put the greeting in the middle. So you can put these wherever you like. I just kind of put them off to the side, knowing that these ones will look like they're kind of blooming from behind, because you can still see the stems in behind. And that's why I have these ones cut out, so I can put them over top. So there's lots of depth to the card. So I'm just going to pop some of these in, and you can group your flowers together. You can have them separated. You can use whatever floral set you've got to do this. And I'm just going to keep adding the flowers in, kind of balancing them on both sides of the stem. Okay, I think that's probably enough. You can always go back in later if you want to. Before you stick the 3D ones down, you can go back in. So I want to put this here. I like this. I think down here it's too far down, but I like this flower here, and I don't want to cover it up. So I think I am going to put this up a little bit further like I have on the other card. I'm just going to pop a couple of dimensionals on it. And there, I'll pop that up so you can see the dimension on the mat that we're using. So I'm just going to lay this down here. Make sure it's centered, and then just drop it down. I usually have to lift these up to make sure that I'm straight, because when things are laying down, I can't always tell whether they're straight or not. This just needs to wiggle up a little bit. Okay, so now I need to put dimensionals on the back of my flowers. The nice thing about this set is there are actually 2 of the smaller flower dies and 1 of the large, so you can cut them out in sets of 3. It's really quite quick and efficient. So I'm just going to grab dimensionals, pop them down on the back, and you can try placing them down before you take the backing off, just so you can get the placement of them. I'm going to pop one, I think right there. It's the large one. I'm going to put another large one down at the bottom here. And this large one, maybe I'll pop there so it actually overlaps there. We'll put a small one here, small one up here, another small one there, and a small one here. Okay, yep, I like that. So I'm just going to peel the backs off of the dimensionals and pop these down. And then you have kind of a 3D slimline card that looks a bit like stems of hollyhocks. I'll put that one there. Actually, I think I wanted it over a bit more, but that's okay where it is. Pop that one down like that. Put this one down. And we'll pop that one up there like that. And then I used an adhesive dot from my paper pumpkin kits to put on the back of the bow. Again, the bow is made out of the braided linen trim, and it's actually in Mossy Meadow, but it does look really good with the old olive and this. And I just tuck that down like that. And now I need to build the card. So I am going to use my Stampin' Seal, and I am going to pop it on the back of the card here like this. and layer it down. I'm going to layer it the same way I do, line it all up, making sure I'm kind of equidistant top to bottom and along the edges, drop it down. Then I'll do the same thing with this piece. And you can mount this piece first if you want, or you can build it before you glue it down. So if you're not 100% sure, you don't have to tear everything apart. And again, we're just going to line this up so it's even. Drop it down, and there we go. So there we have our slimline card using the first frost and the frosted bouquet dies. The envelope is 8 7/8 by 3 7/8. The card to make it is 8 3/4 by 7.5, scored at 3 3/4. The Rich Razzleberry Matte was 8.5 by 3.5, and the basic white card front was 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then you just need enough basic white to do the flowers. And I'll show you, it does fit in the envelope. This one's got quite a lot of dimensionals, quite a few dimensionals on it. And it still goes in the envelope really nicely. So we just need to, just like that, and then it pops closed. And there you go. So that is a slimline card using retired products, coordinating them with some new products. Thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.